through it. So today I want to introduce an awesome tool, and like I said, for some you may recognize it on a business level, and this is more on a personal level. You can make it whatever you want of it, but it's the SWOT analysis. So here you go. SWOT analysis is basically just 4 quadrants you break up, all right? And it's to identify what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your opportunities are, and any threats that you may have or are surrounding. Now that sounds a little negative, but it's actually not as bad as it sounds. So I just wanted to identify one quick thing here. Strengths and weaknesses, as you see here, strengths and weaknesses are internal things. These are things that we can actually control. Externals would be opportunities and threats, all right? So simply what I like to do, as you can visually see it here, you have SWOT, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I quickly just want to take this quadrant and hopefully all right, it did work. Perfect. So anything along this line here is actually positive. That's what we want to kind of work towards. This is what we kind of want to look at to be able to strengthen what is negative. So negative is our weaknesses and our threats. So just to quickly walk you through it, your strengths would be, for example, what do you do well? What qualities do you possess? You want to open up a business. You want to write a book. I'm not sure. Maybe you just want to create something new, or you want to, you have this goal that you want to lose 30 pounds. I don't know. Whatever it is, write down your strengths. What do you do well? So for the example of opening a business, what do you do well? Well, you're a people person. You like to sell things. That's a strength. Fantastic. Then you want to be able to identify what your weakness would also be. So what can you improve in to become a business owner? So maybe one of the things that you can improve in is you need to learn how to use these spreadsheets to be able to analyze your numbers, and perhaps you procrastinate too much, and that's not going to be helpful to running your business. So that might be like a root cause of your setbacks. And once you've identified that, now you see what are your opportunities. So this product, this business that you want to develop, maybe you see the possibility of obtaining another degree, or you want to just read some books, or find a mentor, or partner with somebody who's perhaps in the same industry. These are just examples again. And see where that can take you. And then a possible threat would be like obstacles. What's getting in your way? And I know it sounds super bad, but it's really not. So obstacles, in a simple way of looking at it, I like to see it as like your time and your resources. Are you limited with time? Are you a mom? Are you taking care of, your parents or a family member? Is that taking and consuming your time? The resources, do you have, maybe the right resources, or are you kind of just tied up right now where you can't basically achieve what you want to do? All of that's fine, because what I'm going to talk to you guys about next week is actually being able to use your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, and be able to kind of look at it and create a realistic picture of where you want to go. And that way you can kind of leverage on, like I mentioned earlier, this quadrant, which is your strengths and your opportunities, and then just kind of know that we need to work on the weaknesses and the threats. Don't ever lose sight of what is a threat, and don't ever lose sight of what's a weakness, because these are the kind of things that work negatively towards what we want to achieve. Now, please remember that internal is things that you can control. Strengths and weaknesses. External are opportunities and threats. Sometimes these things you cannot control. And the reason for them is you're a mom, you have kids, they're your kids. Your resources, maybe this is a job you have and this is what you make and you don't have the extra funds, that's okay. But it's important to know that this can also be something that with time we can leverage on our opportunities, and then we can gain a positive in that direction. All right, y'all, so if you like the video, thank you so much for your support. Remember, #ICanDoAllThings. Next week, we'll break it down a little bit more. It was a lot of information. I didn't want to give you too much. And just to remember, as John Maxwell says, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Have a great week, y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye.